We flew from Rangiroa to Moorea. Moorea is one of our favorite islands. It has so much to offer, and it is not as sleepy as some of the other islands. We stayed at the Hilton, which is on a peninsula in between Cook's Bay and Ōpūnohu Bay. When we got to the Hilton there and into our bungalow, I didn't feel like I had to leave the island for anything. Right off the back of our bungalow, I would take some bread and feed the fish every morning and night, and it's amazing how they would just swarm. It's like they have some kind of antenna or communication device where somebody finds out, ooh, there's food, and I guess they tell all the fish and they come a-running. The Hilton really had everything we needed. We didn't even have to leave the property. There was a great bay there, amazing snorkeling with all kinds of coral. They had stand-up paddleboards as well as kayaks, and we did all of those things, including snorkeling as well. The water was so clear, and I just enjoyed snorkeling right by the bungalow. There were so many amazing fish. This triggerfish that was awesome with all these blue and different colors, and then these little blue fish that were this almost neon blue color. What was so great is that Moorea has some tall mountains with gigantic craters in them, and it's so beautiful to look up at these green, lush mountains and then also be looking at the water. Totally different than Rangiroa. Larry even got out in the water and just hang out there, and I got a great picture of him just chilling in the water with all of the coral all around him. One day it started raining for about a half an hour or so, and I got this great picture of a double rainbow. And then later that day, I got the best, awesome picture of a sunset with oranges and reds and pinks, and it was totally cool. Our time came to an end in Moorea, and we went back to Tahiti to catch our Windstar cruise ship. The Wind Spirit was quite a small sailing ship, and it only held about 150 passengers, but it allowed you to get into areas that many other ships could not get into. After they left Tahiti, we went right back to Moorea for one more day, and we did 2 excursions. One in the morning was an e-bike, and we went up to the top of this mountain, and boy, did it really support you, but you could not allow the bike to ride you like a motor scooter. You actually had to pedal in order for the e-bike to work. But we had a great time on these e-bikes, and the view from the top of the Belvedere was amazing. In the afternoon, we went on a photography tour that took us to the Belvedere where we had gone on our bikes in the morning. We got some pictures there before we went to some other spots. If you look in the pictures, you can see there is a mountain in the middle and a bay on each side. The 2 bays that I had talked about earlier in Moorea, between the peninsula where the Hilton Moorea is, Cook's Bay and Ōpūnohu Bay. The photographers gave us a lot of tips on how to take some really extraordinary pictures, and it was super great. Then we went on to another spot that was absolutely stunning and a place we would have never found if we hadn't done this excursion. And we were looking at all of these different mountain peaks and also the pineapple fields as well. We were also taken to a bay to get some perspective and a way to take photographs, as well as to a pineapple plantation where we could take a look at seeing how the best way to take pineapples and to see a background as well. All in all, it was a wonderful tour, and we went to one last place that we had to hike very, very high, and the perspective was seeing all the way to the Hilton and the whole north side of the island. They called this place Magic Mountain, and magic it was because the view was extraordinary. The next day we went to Raiatea again, where we tried scuba diving. In fact, they had scuba diving in 4 islands on the Windstar for novices. Now, I had been certified once before, but Larry had not. So we had the best time ever, probably went down around 18 to 20 feet, and we were so excited with our scuba diving adventure, we are going to go back to Maui and get certified. The island next to Raiatea is called Ta'a. In fact, they probably at some time were one island, and due to erosion and all kinds of other things, they got separated because they share the same lagoon and the same reef as Raiatea in Ta'a. Now, I have to say, we had some of the best snorkeling. There was another drift snorkeling here, coming in from the ocean, the waves, drifting you into the lagoon, and some of the greatest coral sea anemones. Our guide lifted out of the water an octopus. The octopus suckers just started sucking onto his arm, and then he would put the octopus back in the water, and this ink, brownish ink, would come out. And I asked, does that stun the fish or whatever? And he says, no, it's absolutely for camouflage. And frankly, you could not see the octopus because of this ink. We also saw some sea anemones that were very healthy, and on the back side, they were like a neon orange color. All my favorite colors are in nature. I love it so much. In addition, there were beautiful corals and all types of fish, which I have showed you here, and it was one of the best snorkeling days ever. One thing I liked about the Windstar tour is they bring different local people onto the ship in different stops. So one stop, they brought in a tattoo artist who started tattooing about the 1980s, because that's when the revival for the Polynesian people for bringing back their culture, and he had to learn how to do the old traditional way of tattooing or the modern way of tattooing. He let us know how sacred a tattoo was, and if you saw somebody's body, you could find out everything about their family, their place in the tribe, and what they did, etc., because they did not have any written words or reading or writing in that culture. They also brought on what we call the last Tahitian man. He was 80 years old, and swear to God, he looked like he was 60. And his family, all of them are quite old. And he has never had a job in his life. He's totally lived off the land. He basically said, I have everything I need here. I never need to leave. And I have a video of him saying a few of the things about his culture.
I cannot leave my job. My life is free. I'm free. So that is the reason I want to share that with you, because
what really struck me when he spoke, he said that when the French came to French Polynesia, his father was the chief. And when his father died, they made a Frenchman the chief or mayor of the village. And that changed things drastically. On another island, they brought in some ladies from the town that made wristbands made out of flowers. They also taught us how to dance, and in addition, showed us like 20 different ways in order to wrap a sarong. I got some funny video of Larry learning how to do some Tahitian dancing, along with a friend of ours named Steve, and it was too much fun. We had the best time ever in French Polynesia. 3 weeks of the most welcoming, beautiful, clear, clean, warm water you'd ever want to see, and fish and schools of fish like I've never seen before. It was a great time for rest and relaxation and just enjoying the beauty of this earth. Our next stop is we will be flying to LA and then on to San Diego. In closing, my wish for you is that you will love abundantly, protect your health, and be adventurous for life. You are beautiful. Let your light shine. Aloha.